This is a HeadGum podcast.
You're listening to the Lamorning After podcast.
We're just trying to figure out something very basic about what's going on in your life right now. Like, what did you do last night? Like, what was last night like for you?
What did I do last night? I feel like most of my life is consists of watching 100-foot wave.
Oh,
I feel like
really?
that's kind of mainly what I do in all my free time.
Wait, I've been under a rock.
Wave.
What is this? What is it? I've been under a rock. What is
It's
it?
an HBO show about this guy who goes to Portugal where they have the craziest psychotic kill you waves that are like almost like 80, 90 feet. And he just figures out how to surf it. And no one else will even try because like fishermen have been just dying there for hundreds of years, getting washed up into the rocks. So he figures out how you could do it. And then the next season, all these other people, now that he figured out, start trying to surf it. And then slowly it kind of becomes this popular surf spot for the people who have the courage to risk their lives surfing these like giant dinosaur waves.
Do you surf?
I do not surf. And not only do I not surf, my lack of interest is so strong. The idea of being wet for long periods of time, being cold. I mean, I always feel like the water is just sewage. It's just massive amounts of sewage. And so whenever anyone's like, oh, you feel one with the world and the earth and it's just so mellow and it grounds you and centers you. I just laugh. I can get that from 100-foot wave sitting in my bed. I'll watch you do it.
You would watch me do it?
I'll watch you do it. I'll watch anyone do it as long as I don't have to
do it. Like watch death.
I mean, yeah, it's a balancing trick, basically. So you have this balancing trick, which you enjoy. You'll wait for hours. You'll get a fist fight with some other dude to get the opportunity to do your balancing trick.
I'm not a great swimmer. And I remember the first time I visited California, I was 19, and me and some friends came, and the first thing they wanted to do was go take surf lessons in Santa Monica. And I was like, yeah, this makes sense. Yep. And we go get boards, we go get suits. Keep this in mind. I know I can't swim.
Yeah.
But for some strange reason, I felt like I was fine. And we get out there, and I remember the surf instructor kind of teaching us basic stuff to paddle out. And as I'm doing it, he's telling me to, I forget to get up or whatever, stand up. And I keep falling off, but holding onto the board. And he's like, it's fine. You'll just get back on the board. And I'm like, this is really difficult for me to do. And I'm like struggling. And he's like, and my friends are fine. It's a very basic movement in the water. My friends are fine. And he starts looking at me and he's like, can you not swim? And I went, no. And he goes, the fuck are you doing? And they like bring me back.
Remember when you were doing the movie Desperados and they had you were in Cabo and they had to have him do a swimming scene out in the actual ocean. Cut to this guy had a whole like Mexican SEAL Team 6 with him just to like get on a raft and do a scene where he gets hit by a dolphin. Oh, good times.
It was embarrassing. Like underneath me, there were 5 guys just swimming in a circle like sharks. And they're like, if you fall, it's fine.
Yeah.
But now you do know how to do it. Now you know how to do it.
I know how to swim now. Now I know how to swim. That's an embarrassing thing. Oh, 100%. Oh yeah.
How embarrassing is it taking lessons as a very grown man?
You want to know what's more embarrassing than that? Is for your 40th birthday, you are renting a yacht in Greece and you bring your friends and you bring some lovely young ladies, and then Glenn Powell decides to take his shirt off and jump in the fucking ocean like a dolphin, and all the women follow him and they go, Lamorne, you getting in? And I get in wearing a life vest. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
When you took a lesson, did the teacher hold their hand under your belly and kind of make you feel like you're swimming?
This is the same movement they give my daughter. Folks, welcome to another episode of the Lamorning After. I am Lamorne. As always, I am with Kyle, the legend Chevron.
Hello there.
Today, folks, we got a pretty big deal here. This man here is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, and he knows it. He's nodding in approval as we speak.
I like where this is going.
Yeah.
He made his feature directorial debut with the 40-year-old version in 2005, now celebrating its 20th anniversary. This man is single-handedly responsible for some of the greatest, most legendary careers you have seen. None bigger than LeBron James in Trainwreck, which is also celebrating its 10th anniversary. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Judd Apatow.
Yeah. I think LeBron might have won the championship as a result of just loosening up with me.
Yes.
Getting to know himself a little better.
100%.
Finding a light spirit, right? I'm going to take responsibility for the athletic feats.
You have to, because in basketball is mental. It's mental. You got to break down those fears, and acting for people who haven't acted before, it could be quite scary, I'm sure.
I would, now I go to the games. I haven't spent time with LeBron since the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But, every once in a while he looks over and he gives me one of these.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's all it is. It's literally like,
Is there a response from you, Judd, or no? You just kind of,
I might give him a,
wow.
Oh,
he goes left, I go down.
You're better than me. He makes eye contact. I'm making sure everybody saw that.
Yeah.
I'm going, you talking to me? Bro, you talking to me? Yeah. I see you, baby. I call you. I'm obsessed with basketball. And so when I'm at games, I'm making sure the players know that I'm there.
I had season tickets to the Lakers starting in 1994.
Whoa, okay.
So I bought floor seats in 94 when a human could afford them.
Oh, yeah.
And then they just kept going up in price. So it's like 400. Oh, next year, 500. Boom, it just went 750. Whoa, it just went 1,000. And then at some point I'm like, well, this is ridiculous because every game is like buying a car.
Yeah.
Yes.
And some games
100%.
are terrible. Like you have 3 bad games in a row, you're into a Camry. And so I'm like, I'm going to get rid of these tickets. Then they moved to Staples and it was even farther away from my house. And I had little kids. And I said, this is it. And so they won the championship for the first time, Kobe and Shaq. Yeah. And I said, I'm getting rid of these tickets because I saw it happen. Probably it'll never happen again. And then I get rid of them. They win the next year. the next year, a couple years later, they win it again and again. And so it was the dumbest thing I ever did. I didn't realize that what people do is they sell tickets to some games they don't go to.
Yeah,
to pay for the other tickets.
You were just eating the L's.
I was eating the terrible games and suffering.
What was the deal Jack Nicholson had? I heard a story, correct me if I'm wrong, that there was some movie that they wanted him to do back in the day and they couldn't afford him. So as a part of his deal to sweeten the pot, he said, I need lifetime Lakers tickets. And those tickets have been since the 70s.
Really? So
that's what I heard.
The film Going South?
Possibly.
What movie was this? Wolfen? Was this the Wolfen deal?
Quite possibly. I'm like, why? I need a deal like that.
I remember Sandler was making Anger Management with Jack Nicholson. And so I said, I just want to be around it for a day. I just want to see Nicholson work. So I got there early, like one morning. I go in Sandler's trailer, and then suddenly Nicholson comes in the trailer, and he's got his script, and a zillion pages are dog-eared.
Yeah.
And he's got, I got a couple of ideas for today's scene. And he sits down with Sandler, and I'm watching, and he starts pitching jokes.
Oh, wow.
Right? And it's a lot of jokes. Like he worked hard, and he had the energy of somebody who had been in show business for 18 months. He's treating this like it's cuckoo's nests.
Wow. Yeah.
It was amazing. And then he walks out, and I was thinking, that's uncomfortable if the jokes aren't great.
Yeah.
Because now you got to reject Nicholson all day.
Yeah.
So I said to Sandler, I go, what percentage of these jokes are good? And he goes, 90.
Oh,
90% of these are great. He's so much funnier.
Oh, wow.
You can imagine.
That's crazy. Because I look at people like Morgan Freeman, who's been 90 for 30 years. And he's still ticking and crushing. And just, you always see him doing different movies, different commercials. He seems like he's got that. When people ask me about my career and what I want to do, I say, I just want to be Morgan Freeman. I don't want to retire. I want to keep going until I literally die.
And you get old enough, you play God. You know, just at some point, there's only one role left.
Yes.
That you're right for is God.
Yes. I'm okay with that.
Real quick, we polled our fans last week with the question, what is a twist in a movie or TV show that you're still thinking about? Before we give away the answer, guys, we wanted to ask you, Judd, real quick, what do you think was the most popular answer?
Well, it's got to be Who Shot JR, right? Isn't that the biggest twist? The end of the new Hart series? Is that the hottest one? Was it
Let me check the results
Is that
here.
a twist? That's kind of the end.
We got the Red Wedding, from Game of Thrones. We've got The Sixth Sense, people are still talking about. And we learned recently Severance, learning who Gemma is in Severance. Spoiler alert.
And I haven't gotten up to the Red Wedding yet in Game of Thrones. I'm still on season 2.
Really?
I got stuck there about 7 years ago. I really need to keep watching. You ever miss watching a show for 3 weeks? You turn it back on. You can't remember who anybody is or what the politics are. And you give up. You're like, I got to go on Wikipedia and read all the recaps and jump back in this thing.
Yes. Severance. I was like that. The first season came out, it felt like 20 years ago. And so when the second season came out, I'd forgotten everything about the first season. So I had to go back and watch it again.
The thing is that these shows, they disappear for 2 years between seasons. So you find yourself going, is Escobar a good guy or a bad guy? You just forget everything.
Oh, 100%. So Kyle, you going to tell him?
Yeah, the biggest one was Sixth Sense. The Sixth Sense.
That was the biggest one?
That was our most popular, yes.
Never saw it. I never saw it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I don't know why. Just didn't pull me in.
Don't plan on it?
It's too late. I know the twist. Is it fun if you know the twist?
No.
This is interesting.
Can I explain? Okay, so I had a friend who I said, I'm going to the movies. He said, what are you going to see? I said, The Sixth Sense. First thing comes out of his mouth. Oh, I saw that. That's the movie where Bruce Willis is a ghost, right? And I said, I guess, I don't know. I think so. He's like, yeah. I go watch the movie. Keep this in mind. I already know Bruce Willis is a ghost. So when the entire audience goes, oh, I looked around like, what the fuck are they gasping about? And then it hit me. Ah, shit. And I immediately called my buddy and went off on him. And he was like, oh, my bad, bro.
But you know why I should have watched it? I'll tell you why I should have watched it. Because as you were telling that story, in my head, I thought the kid is the ghost.
Oh, Haley Joel
So I
Osment.
actually had the twist wrong, and I could have enjoyed the movie.
Damn it.
We ruined it for
My
Judd.
memory's so bad, I'll forget that in about 15 minutes. Who's the ghost? Is it the lady? Is the lady the ghost?
So we poll the fans. We asked them that question, but we have a bunch of questions. Then we went to the fans and they wanted to know something specifically from your mind. I'll start, Kyle.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who would be on your Mount Rushmore of comedy legends? I'm sure you've got this before, but you are a comedy legend. And this will be the first time I believe I'm asking a comedy legend what their Rushmore is.
Who are the legends?
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing a documentary right now on Mel Brooks. So you got to put Mel Brooks.
Oh, yeah. I have a Blazing Saddles poster in my house.
Yeah.
Peter Sellers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just for being there alone. How many slots do I have?
4.
You got 2 more. You got 4.
4 in total.
4?
Yeah, it's only 4.
We might throw you a bonus. We might give you a 5. And we might give you a 5th person.
Oh, God. Well, who would you put on the list? I mean, can I go Kristen Wiig? Can I just fully go Wiig?
Yeah.
This is your answer.
Oh, yeah.
This is your answer.
I mean, when you go back, separate from my work with her on a few things, you go back and you just watch the SNL stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you just go, did anyone crush harder? If you really watch there's a lot of people who are funny and inventive, but people who can also rip the house down. There is a real skill to momentum.
Yeah.
Right? I'm funny, but it's building and it's getting crazier and then it's exploding.
And it seems like every
Baby
sketch she does, it keeps getting ramped up bigger and bigger and bigger. She's one of my favorites of all time.
And longevity. Is longevity a factor in this?
just watching the SNL 50th and her murdering again. So we've got Peter Sellers, we got Wig,
And Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks. And you're saying there's only one other person. You have to go Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, Mel Brooks, Blazing Saddles. Yes.
I mean, on a different day, maybe it'd be some variations, but I was just today talking about the acid trip routine.
Wait. Which one was that?
That's when he was like, I'm going there. Like, it's just unbelievable. It's the most creative, hilarious, rip it down. I mean, some people are just funny where they're just on another planet funny.
Oh yeah, Richard Pryor. You know what's interesting? I was speaking with Garrett Morris. I got to play Garrett in the SNL film.
Yeah,
film Saturday
quite
night.
well. You captured Garrett, and then I saw him at the 50th.
Yeah,
And I was excited. Like, yeah, did you get to spend much time with Garrett in that experience?
I did. And what was cool about him is that, you know, when you're trying to capture his cadence or just get, you know, some of his essence, his rhythm, the way he speaks off camera, outside of performance, you know, there was a little bit of what I thought was, you know, you kind of sense Eddie Murphy in there a little bit. There's a rhythm. And you realize it's the other way around. You realize that, you know, Eddie was pulling from Garrett. And Pryor and Garrett were around very much at the same time. And so they share a lot of each other's sensibilities. And that's something that we spoke about too, is that during that time, you know, TV was very limited. So you only had a chance to see certain people. And as a performer, you copied a lot and you kind of emulated a lot. And so when I think of Richard Pryor, I think of Garrett, and then vice versa, based off their history. There was an interesting story he told me that they weren't friends in the beginning, Richard and Garrett.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it blew my mind. It blew my mind of the reasoning why. It's very politically charged time, and Garrett being the only white guy or black guy on this show, people felt like he was a sellout, and they didn't realize like that was not the case at all, and how much he had done. And Richard was one of those people that thought this about Garrett, and it wasn't until, you know, they got a chance to actually speak, then they became friends. You know,
yeah. Can you imagine, like, you get your big break and people give you a hard time about that?
Crazy.
Yes.
He really broke down a ton of doors before that.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh
he
my
was
gosh.
the oldest guy at the cast.
Yeah. Prior to SNL, he had desegregated the unions. He was, you know, the FBI used to like tear down his theater company because they thought his messaging was too provocative. I mean, this guy had been through a lot.
Yeah. But the show didn't let him get that political and go for the issues of the day very often. I mean, obviously, it was the sketch of everyone highlights the prison talent show sketch,
Yes.
which is pretty incredible. But I don't think they gave him that many opportunities to satirize Black culture.
Right, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is amazing how many of these shows took forever to desegregate their casts.
Oh yeah. It's strange, but you know, we're in a different time now.
I think it's changing to the point where pretty soon they're going to let the Jews in.
What? Keep your fingers crossed, man.
I think our time is coming.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Judd, on a serious note, I have a question for you here. If you had to pick one competitive reality show to participate in a full season, which one would you pick?
Besides 100-foot waves?
Yeah, not 100-foot waves, because we know you're not surfing in Portugal.
I mean, I would say Survivor. Mike White did it.
He's coming back to do it again.
Mike White could have won it. There are people who even think like he didn't even want to win it. Like he was like between him and someone else, and like there are people. There's all sorts of theories. Like Mike, you know, just said.
How would you do on a cooking show?
So bad. So
you're not in the
terrible. I'm just, the skills are not there. I probably could follow a recipe in a book, but if it was like make something out of this grapefruit and this, you know, this pig, and I don't think I could do it.
So you can't improvise. You can't improvise in the kitchen.
I don't know if I've ever even tried to improvise. So maybe when I was 8, I put potato chips on a sandwich. I don't. I've never done it.
maybe special exemption, they let you compete on Chef Juniors.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do that.
A mean grilled cheese.
I won Celebrity Cupcake Wars one year.
You did?
I did. I cheated,
Because
so
you
I had a
do-
ringer.
But you do cook.
I dabble. I dabble in the kitchen. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a baker.
Oh, so
And
you have
so-
some skills.
I have a little bit, but that's from back in the day. And I remember,
You're downplaying things.
well, you know, I'm a
He's got a brisket.
People love
He's
my
got a
brisket.
nice brisket. Yeah.
love my
Nice.
brisket. Yeah, brisket's pretty good. I'll invite you over.
See, like for me, the thing, every time I cook, I'm like, God, that took a long time. And I could have watched like a basketball
100-foot
game
wave.
and called Postmates and had been laying down that whole time.
Yes, but that's the thing. I only do it when it's necessary.
Mhm.
Oh, you're right. Postmates, Uber, that's my thing. It's the house is filled with Uber Eats bags.
Yeah.
Every morning. My daughter thinks that I'm great with making crepes.
Yeah.
it's like she loves daddy's crepes, but not mine.
She thinks y'all are French, honestly.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I got one for you. This is more on the nose based off of what you do for a living. And it's a question that people have asked me before, and I've taken some pretty interesting things. But what's the most memorable rap gift you've ever given or received, or something you've stolen from work?
Something I've stolen from work. There was a movie, I think it might have been This Is 40,
Mm-hmm.
which I made with my wife, Leslie, and the kids, where I somehow put it in my contract back in the heyday of showbiz. Where you could put things in your
Things-
contract.
yeah.
You're not allowed to put things in anymore. Then
Not
we
anymore.
got to keep all the wardrobe of their
Oh,
characters.
sweet.
Because I figured,
Oh, wow.
well, it fits them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I just made that part of my deal. We get to keep the clothes.
So a free stylist.
It
That's
was
basically what
so
you
much clothes.
I was about to say.
It was like 100 years of clothes. Eventually, it all hit Goodwill, but it was too many rompers and slacks, and we had to donate it.
Were you, because I have a 4-year-old daughter and she's really funny and she's so silly and goofy. And whenever there's a camera on, she either like lights up and knows the camera's on, or she'll do something so funny because she doesn't want to see the camera. I took her to see Lilo and Stitch recently, and she walked the red carpet with me and was just scowling at every photographer. And it was the funniest thing. I mean, just a straight up, like, why are you taking photos of me? And my manager goes, you know what, maybe you could, I don't know. I think she might want to be a performer. And I have this slight hesitation. Was that something that you had initially, or were you just like, this is the family business?
I didn't think at all about them doing it for a living.
Mhm.
All I thought was, I don't want to work with other people's kids.
Yeah.
So all of it was just for my convenience. And that was kind of it. I mean, I really never thought, oh, they're going to go into showbiz and this is the path and they're going to learn how to act by being in these movies. I just thought, I hate other people's children. I hate that they all have to hang out with their families on sets. And if it was my kids, I can get rid of that whole problem. That's not true. I've worked with some lovely young actors and their parents. But I did think, well, I kind of know them and I know what's funny about them. And I think I can manipulate them into doing some things. And I hate movies where the kid and the mom don't seem real and bonded. I always notice in movies the lack of connection, the lack of weird shorthands, and the way people who know each other behave. It really bothers me. And when people can pull it off, it's amazing when they're not actually related. But it was more like, I'm not that good a director. I might as well get my kids to play the kids because then it'll just feel right. And then we did it a few times and then slowly, not because I did anything, I could just tell, they're really funny. And, Iris would be improvising and she's like 8, 9 years old. And it was shocking. Maud improvised the whole bit about how babies are born and knocked up, where she talks about like digging in the dirt and the egg.
And then your butt falls off, and then you hold your butt and you have to dig. And you'll find a little baby.
We didn't feed that to her. We just said, make us something weird about how babies are born. Yeah. And she just did this crazy run. So there definitely were moments where it became clear, oh, they can do this. And then we would, show people the movies and everyone liked them. So it wasn't like I was crazy. I don't know if I would say definitely have your daughter do it. We do need to know if AI is going to replace all human behavior. I am of the mind that things that computers can't do are probably good things to do for a living. So if you are a great performer, maybe it is a good time, unless they just make such great fake human beings and no one can tell anymore. But I don't think they ever will be able to pull that off. I think it will always be a little creepy. That's what I'm betting on, a little creep factor.
Yeah.
But also when you watch a film, you want to see certain things. You want to see who's it directed by, who wrote it, who's starring in it. If it's all AI, I'm not going to have a real interest. Yeah. I'm not going to have a real interest in that.
And you don't believe in the stunts. It's like when you see a superhero movie and you can just tell everything is AI.
Yeah.
You think back to movies that you used to watch, whatever, The French Connection, where you're like, that guy's really driving that car in San Francisco.
Yeah.
It freaks you out. And I do feel like we're deadened to the action, whatever. It's like spaceships chasing each other. It really doesn't get your heart going.
Right.
And I think that's true for a lot of AI, where that tingle you get when you're moved, where you fall in love or you find someone funny or something is incredible in the action or you're terrified. You don't really get that when it's all fake.
Tom Cruise is all we have left.
And then we got nothing.
Then it's Judgment Day.
And that's it. And then it all gets handed over to ChatGPT to make all our movies.
No. I'm not looking forward to that day. Or hopefully I'll win the lottery. It's one of the two. Okay, I got another one for you. If your inner child could confront your adult self, what's the first thing they would roast you about?
Roast me about. So it's a vicious inner child.
Yeah, he's a bully.
Well, that's all it does, really, right? Your inner child is just like, shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Who do you think you are, you dumbass? No one wants to hear you on this podcast babbling your babble. That's what it usually sounds like. Stop talking. No one cares. I have to force myself to continue to do stand-up comedy as a way of telling that voice to fuck off.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Because it's not a voice that's like, stop doing anything. I know therapists say, your mind wants to keep you safe. And so its inclination would be to have you stay in bed all day long.
Yes.
Like
so
that makes sense to a part of your mind. Like, yeah, you're safe if you never leave the house and then you're not in danger and you won't offend anyone and just stay in the house watching TV. And you're constantly trying to tell that voice to sit down. I got it covered. We're okay. We're going to leave the house now. But it is a powerful voice. Yeah.
My voice is constantly telling me to stay at home, and I listen to it, and I barely leave. Yeah, Uber Eats, man. Damn. I just recently took up golf, so my inner child would tell me, bro, that's whack, bro. Why are you golfing, dog? We don't golf. We play basketball. I'm like, but I'm not good anymore. It's like we never were.
I never played golf because when I was very young, I lived with Adam Sandler, and one day we went to play golf with Dennis Miller at this, like, there was like a place like Coldwater, in the valley near Jerry's Deli, public course. I'd never really played, maybe once or twice in high school. So I knew nothing. I walked on his line to the cup. Right?
Oh no.
And just Dennis was like, hey, fucking Ben Hogan over here, walking in my line. And I think I just put down the club for about 10 years. And then I was on vacation in Hawaii and I said, I'm going to take a lesson. I'm going to learn how to golf. Everyone golfs. I'm going to get in on this. And so I just hit balls for a while, but I had kind of a funky back. And so I hit balls for about an hour. And then I went to take a tennis lesson, obviously never stretching.
Yeah.
Never doing any stretching.
Why would you do that?
No warm up.
Yeah.
Jump on the tennis court, hit one ball, herniate my disc, surgery, just the whole house of cards went down. So I am afraid I'm a choker at all sports. Like I could be ahead 5-0 in tennis, and I will lose 7-5 most times.
You're James
to
Harden.
me, golf is all choking. I could just like be the guy that takes 16 to get into the hole.
Well, I'm new. I'm fairly new, so I'm right there with you. I just came back from a lesson. That's why I'm dressed this way. But golf is one of those things where I met a guy once who said he's a former football player, and I was wearing a golf hat, and he said, "Do you golf?" I said, "I'm trying. I'm just recently new to it, And he goes, "Dude, played football my whole life, no injuries. Tried golf. Threw my back out."
Yes, the twist.
Yeah, the twist.
Speaking of that inner monologue, if it could be voiced by anybody beside yourself, who would voice it that would cause you to eventually lose your mind?
Ed Wynn, you know who that is? Ed Wynn.
Ed Wynn?
He was an old comedy star of the silent and early sound era. I think he just talked like this. Ed Wynn talked like this.
Yeah.
That would.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Tea? Oh, I never thought of tea. Of course, tea.
I'm jumping off a bridge.
What?
Good morning. Wow. Oh, look at you. Trying to have your day. It's not going to work. Nothing's going to work. Why not you?
No. Yeah, we don't need him.
I'm out.
I'd want somebody British and cool, just so I could keep working on my accent. If I hear the accent all the time, I'm so good at it because they're so good at doing our accents.
You do English productions.
Oh, 100%. I'm moving to London,
but
baby.
They're not that good at doing our accents. If you listen carefully, you always hear the little weird syllable pop through.
Oh,
they always fuck it up.
There was a movie with John Boyega, and I think John Boyega is a great actor. And I remember he was playing like a guy who was fresh out of prison.
They cloned Tyrone.
I just remember watching it. No, not they cloned Tyrone. He was pretty good in that too. He was, his accent was great in that.
Yeah.
But in this one particular movie, I just remember watching it going, "Man, he ain't from here, huh?" The whole time. It was always a sentence or a moment where it was just so far over there. I was like, oh.
They always screw it up. It's always it sounds like it's too American. Like they're doing it's like when Richard Pryor does a white guy voice. Sound like it's like, I've always thought that John Boyega was a great actor.
Actor.
Yeah.
They just 100% up at that.
I had to do a British accent in this movie, and I didn't have to. The John Papsadera told me that I had to. He said, "Yeah, you should, put the tape together, do an English accent." I did it. I booked it. I get to set. The director goes, "What made you think?" He's like, "It was great audition." First of all, it wasn't a great accent. It was very on the nose, slapsticky, weird thing. And he goes, "What made you want to do an English accent?" I said, "Because that was the direction I got from the casting director. I thought you wanted that." And he goes, "No. You could have done American on your own." It's like, you fucking, oh God.
The worst is when you watch a show like The Wire and you realize a third of the cast is from London.
Yeah.
Idris Elba, the lead guy, and they were all just crushing their accents perfectly. You didn't know for 5 years.
Yeah.
And then they do an interview and they're like, "The thing about The Wire is it talks about Baltimore and the many troubles that they have with the police and practice."
Yeah. Idris, I didn't know Idris was a bouncer. He used to be a bouncer.
He was a bouncer at Caroline's, the comedy club in New York.
This one's a bit silly, but would you rather have eyes that film everything or ears that record everything?
That's a great question for me. Because I am a pack rat. I am a hoarder. I have real issues with this. That's why, this book I made, Comedy Nerd, which you can buy now on pre-order.
Let's go.
It's basically my hoard in book form because I scanned everything in my hoard of my career. Okay. So it's photos and script pages and notes from the studio and just everything. And then I wrote little essays because I can't stop collecting everything. And I interviewed people in high school for my high school radio station, like Weird Al Yankovic and Howard Stern and John Candy in 1983, 84. But I saved it. I have all of these things.
Oh, wow.
40.
That's great to have. That's not hoarding. That's great to have. That's not hoarding.
It is if you just can't stop. I'll give you the worst part of hoarding these days. I go on YouTube. Now on the YouTube, there's a thing, watch later. So you can hit a button, save to watch later. It maxes out at 5,000. So I've maxed out my 5,000 like a year ago.
Oh no.
And so every time there's a YouTube video I want to watch later, I text it to myself. So if you look at texts from Judd Apatow to Judd Apatow, there's 25,000 YouTube videos.
Oh my goodness.
You hoarding links?
Damn,
I'm
dude.
hoarding links.
Links.
I used to have an app that you could hoard articles you wanted to read. So like the way someone's entire house might be newspapers from floor to ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this app, I just had tens of thousands of links to articles. And let me say, not only did I not read a lot of them, I didn't read any of them.
You just have them thinking one day you'll get to them.
It just made me feel better to know it was somewhere, which is like the why does like a hoarder have to keep, a bird's nest and a catcher's mitt covered in piss?
That's a reality show you could be on, Hoarders.
Oh shit, definitely. So for me, that's a troubling one. Like, would I want the video or the audio? But I think I'm gonna go audio. I think I'd like to hear what everyone's saying.
It might be time to release Judd Apatow's search history.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. I used to always say, it's not hoarding if all your shit is awesome.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to just ask you, Judd, about the anniversary, obviously the 20th anniversary of the 40-Year-Old Virgin. With, I'm sure the countless hours of deleted scenes and stuff that didn't make it into the movie, is anything new getting put into a movie? Because sometimes on these re-releases they add new stuff or change certain stuff.
Well, the funny thing about the movie was when we started shooting the movie, on the third day the studio shut it down because they didn't think it was working.
Oh wow.
What?
What we had shot was the scene where he's like running from the bus that says eruption on it. And they shot the speed dating sequence. And for some reason they just went into a panic and they were like, Paul Rudd is too heavy and you're lighting it like an independent movie. And Steve looks like a serial killer. And they just had a lot of notes, which is funny looking back because all the scenes we shot those first few days are in the movie and murder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
yes,
we did make some adjustments that were helpful based on the notes, but it was just, they just panicked for some reason. So the movie was lit a little bright, almost like a Cal Burnett show sketch. Because they told the cinematographer, who's this amazing cinematographer who had just done Unforgiven, don't light it too dark. So I always thought in the theater it was lit a little too brightly. So what I did is I went in and I got to read color time the entire movie, and they rescanned the negative and we redid all the sound for like current sound effects. So the movie, like if you see it on TV now, it looks like it was made in 1968. Like it's funny how it gets all washed out and the sound is bad.
Yeah.
So in the theater, it really feels like we made it yesterday.
Oh,
again,
that's awesome.
And it's wild. It's very alive. And we screened it at the museum, the Motion Picture Academy Museum. And I hadn't seen it in 20 years. So Carell came and Jerry Bednoff and Jane Lynch and Kat Dennings and Catherine Keener. When we showed it, did a Q&A. And it was just great to hear the movie just rip the house down for 2 hours straight. And so many of the jokes are so shocking right now. There's only a few I'm like, I would not do that today. But there were a lot of great, really rough jokes, and it's very sweet. And I'm just like, for people to see it in the theater, because this generation, they didn't see it. And it's as we kind of miss comedy in the theaters because they're not making as many these days for all sorts of reasons, I think it's a great communal experience to see something that's crazy funny with a lot of people.
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it again.
Yeah.
So in honor of 40-Year-Old Virgin and Trainwreck, we're going to play a little game called the 40-Year-Old Trainwreck. These are quotes from 40-Year-Old Virgin or Trainwreck. Okay. So I'm going to say a quote and you got to figure out, this one is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite quotes of all time because I love Coldplay. You know how I know you're gay? You like Coldplay.
That is the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, let's go.
And that's such a funny one because that's something that Paul Rudd improvised.
Wow.
Yes.
I loved Coldplay and had put them the second they started as a band in our show Undeclared. We had Yellow as a big part of the first episode. So I love that. And so he does that joke. I don't even get it, but we're testing the movie, and we tested a lot of reasons why. Like, I know you're gay because you know, you put spinach dip in a bowl made out of sourdough bread. You know, like, you know, we wanted them all to be positive, admiring type of jokes. But when he said Coldplay, the crowd laughed really loud, and I never understood like why would you laugh at that. And I think it was like, you know, it hurt people's feelings. And I was thought like I didn't think of it because I think they're incredible, and they continue to be incredible, and it all worked out for Coldplay is what I'm saying. They continue to be the biggest band in the world, and no matter what, it didn't hurt them.
Before we finish this, we're going to keep getting into the quotes. I have to ask a question. I forgot to ask you this question. Is it true that once upon a time you were going to direct a New Girl episode?
I think there's a chance that I talked about that with Jay Kazan, who worked with me on Freaks and Geeks, and we wrote Walk Hard together. Yes. I've never, ever directed a show that I wasn't officially a full-time part of.
Gotcha.
And I got asked a few times to do cool things. Once I got asked to direct an episode of The Americans because I just loved that show. And I talked about it a lot. And I got asked to do The Office. And Eating Girls, which I produced, I never did, because I always think the best I could do is not fuck it up.
But yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm going to make one that changes the show, and it appears you're directing the show well. So it'll only be for my pleasure, which always feels like the wrong reason to do something. Like, well, I'll come to your show for my personal enjoyment. But who knows? Maybe it's a thing that I should have done all along. But my instinct always is, well, whoever's doing it now is doing a good job. You don't really need me to do it. Yeah.
I just remember hearing that, and our entire cast were like, "What? Are you shitting me?"
Well, Howard Ramis did The Office and did
really
a legendary one. And didn't Tarantino do a show you wouldn't have expected to do, like an ER episode or something?
It's so funny if Quentin Tarantino directed Martin. Wait, what?
CSI.
Wow.
Miami. CSI Miami.
Kyle.
Yeah, I got a line here. Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you.
That's a pretty good one. I'm gonna have to guess Trainwreck.
Yeah, Trainwreck. Kyle, what do you think?
I'm saying I'm going with the guy who wrote it. I'm going with Trainwreck. Yeah.
What did you say?
Trainwreck. I directed Trainwreck.
Okay,
Amy
sorry.
Trainwreck.
It's her dad says it.
Amy.
Colin Quinn says it.
Yes.
Okay.
Trainwreck.
Very nice.
Your instincts are true.
Let's see. Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it? I'm gonna go 40.
That's 4-year-old virgin.
Yeah,
that's in the scene where he's at. It's almost like a Planned Parenthood or something. He's at some sort of meeting with all the parents and their kids asking questions about it. And suddenly he has all the questions. What's weird about that movie is how easily writing all those jokes came to me and Steve. like, I don't know why that's something that we understand above all things is what a 40-year-old virgin is thinking.
I was a late bloomer. I was a 19-year-old virgin. I mean, I feel like that's pretty late, right?
What's that? Is that like second year of college?
Yeah, second year in college.
Yeah,
met a lovely young lady, and I was very bad at it.
Yeah,
it took me a long time.
I assume so.
I used to joke that said like, I'm always walking a fine line between impotence and premature ejaculation, and then I don't know which way I'm going to go. You don't know either. That's the fun part. Just find out.
Okay, Kyle, you got the next one?
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing it really, really well.
Ooh.
I'm going to say 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, it would seem like that, right?
But it's Trainwreck?
It's 40-year-old virgin.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I haven't screwed it up yet.
You haven't choked yet.
I haven't choked. That set me up for the choke. So
No.
hard.
Oh, I
Shit,
Reggie
it's the
Miller.
jinx.
No.
The jinx right there, man. Okay, this one. Okay, you're dressed like you're auditioning for what not to wear.
that's got to be Trainwreck.
Yeah,
I
is
think
it?
that's
It's
right.
not when he's getting ready for his date on 40-Year-Old Virgin. I don't.
Oh no, I got it wrong.
I don't know.
It's Trainwreck.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
it's a Trainwreck.
Kyle,
That's a reference. It's a little older. It's funny because how 40-Year-Old Virgin happened was we were shooting Anchorman, and Carell was so funny that it was blowing everyone's mind. And it was this thing where everyone was killing it, but people were especially shocked at how riotous Steve was being all day with these crazy improvs. And it was just something magical happening
Yeah.
with Carell doing Brick. So one day I was like, hey, if you have any ideas for a movie like you could be the star of, we should talk about that. I guess what he said is that he had pitched me 2 full movie ideas
Yeah.
and that I didn't really seem to respond that well. And then he said, and then, I had this sketch that I was working on at Second City and I never finished it. But we did an improv on it once and it was funny and it was me at a poker game and they're telling sex stories. And when it's time for me to tell one, it's clear I made it up. It's clear I'm a 40-year-old virgin. And I always remember that Steve's example was, you know how when you touch a woman's breast, it feels like a bag of sand?
Yeah.
Like, how when you put your hand on a woman's pants, there's all that baby powder. And in that moment, I thought, I understand exactly what this is.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to write to fully flesh out that script?
I think we wrote it over a summer.
Okay.
Okay.
And early on, we thought, well, let's take this very seriously. Like, let's give him a lot of depth and complexity and let's figure out why it happened. And that's what'll be funny about it is you'll expect this, whatever, shy wallflower, but he's also filled with rage and frustration. And we were very in sync in terms of the vibe and certainly caught a wave of casting at that moment where, people would come in to read and, it's Jane Lynch.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Banks, and they would be revelations.
Yeah.
You would really go, oh my God. They all felt like superstars, not just, oh, that person's good for that part. Jonah Hill coming in to read for 2 lines. Then you would think, oh, that guy's a movie star. He doesn't even know it.
Right.
And that
Yeah,
kept
here it
happening.
is.
In that vein, what did you know of Kevin Hart at that time?
Well, I met Kevin Hart when he was 21 or 22 years old. And I really believed that Kevin Hart was going to be a giant star. And you know who else believed it? Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
But when Kevin first started, his act was like so funny. And a lot of it was about like, being small and being like a coward. And it was really riotously funny. So I wrote a pilot that starred him, Amy Poehler, and Jason Segel as young wannabes who lived in North Hollywood. And it was called North Hollywood.
Wow.
People wanted to get into show business. There was a scene where Kevin is explaining how he thinks he's going to be this huge comedy star. And he explains it like, I want to be like Chris Tucker. I want to be like Chris Tucker, but you can't understand Chris Tucker because he talks too fast. But you can understand me, so I'm going to be bigger than Chris Tucker because you can understand the way I'm talking. And basically in this one scene of this pilot, Kevin laid out his entire career.
Oh, wow.
At like 22 years old. So we make this pilot, which is a little inspired by Curb Your Enthusiasm. We had a script, but there's tons of improv. And as we were making it, we read in the paper that ABC wanted all their new shows to be like their shows from the 70s, like Happy Days.
Oh, wow.
And we thought, oh, we're dead.
Yeah.
They don't want like something that's new. So the show didn't get picked up. And so it was like everyone that I wanted to help break through. So Kevin, we put him in Undeclared as the religious student on a bunch of episodes. And then he read for the Robin E. Malco part. And he didn't get it. And I did his podcast and he said, that was a big moment for me because I realized that my acting wasn't strong enough. And so I went to acting school and I tried to really train myself. And I said, Kevin, the truth is the reason why you didn't get it is it's supposed to be a Lothario. And I didn't believe the audience would think that you got laid. I just didn't believe that you were that guy the way Romney. I believed it.
Yeah, right.
And I go, it had nothing to do with your acting. Your acting was great. I just didn't think you were appropriate for that character. And you took acting class for no reason. You shouldn't have taken it. So anyway, we had him play this part as a customer in the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh yeah,
one of the best scenes.
Short version of it, which is in the normal cut, and then in the director's cut, I just left in like another 90 seconds of Romney and Kevin cursing each other out, which is what most people remember.
Yeah,
because it's quite shocking.
That cameo, for me, just like the first times I really remember him is that cameo in 40-Year-Old Virgin, and then him in Along Came Polly, where he's part of Philip Seymour Hoffman's camera crew that is following him on the fake documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's always like a gig you give people who need money. When we did Anchorman, Seth is the cameraman.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And that's a way to funnel cash.
Yeah.
I got you, bro.
Get a couple of shots, but it's also just money.
Yeah. I love that.
Stay afloat.
I love that. Okay, I got a line here. You got to highlight your attributes. Like, if you got big boobs, show them.
Oh, that is Trainer.
It is Jane Lynch in the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Show.
No.
You gotta highlight your attributes. So Jane Lynch says that to who? I guess she says it to Steve.
Yeah, it would have to be in one of their one-on-ones.
When she's hitting on him.
Yeah.
Which is so funny. Jane Lynch hitting on Steve Carell. The funny thing is Steve Carell would just blush when people were dirty, when people would hit on him. Just everything really made him blush because he's just a very nice man. He's just a sweetheart guy. And Seth was always like, it's hilarious how much he hates when we're filthy. We got to go dirtier. And he was right. And even when we did the screening of the movie a month ago, Jerry Bednob, who was the guy who talked about all the filthy stuff at the store, he did it at the Q&A, and Steve, it was like 2004, he just gets red.
Oh, really?
He just started sweating when people are dirty. And Jerry's just like, you're not a pussy juice cocktail. And Steve's like, no, please, no.
I love that.
Oh, gosh. Okay, I got another one here. I'm going to need you to stop being so weird, okay? It's freaking me out.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That was Trish in the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
I'm going down. You guys are seeing the choke happen. You're seeing the whole just
in real time.
It's 5-5 in tennis right now.
Okay, we got two more, so you can still win this thing.
Okay.
I don't want to be the boring guy who goes home early, but I also don't want to wake up in a pool of my own urine.
That one I really don't know. So I'm going to say Trainwreck.
It was Trainwreck.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. You're back.
Okay.
You're back in the lead.
You said that at some point.
Will Hader, yes.
Yeah.
That's one thing you don't do. You don't tell her you took Viagra. I'm pretty sure that's on the warning label. I can't tell you.
Should I announce now that we threw a wild card in here? That was from
That's from Mrs. 40.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Judd got it. Judd got it.
Thank God.
I'd like to say you won this game.
You won, Judd. You definitely won.
In spirit, I won. I should have won all of them at this point in my life, but it was fun. Other than knowing that there's a few things I don't remember at all. But I hadn't watched the 40-Year-Old Virgin in 20 years, so I did get to watch it as if I had never seen it, and I was able to enjoy it like an audience member because
that's awesome.
Fully 70% of it I didn't really freshly remember.
Yeah, listen, you've got so many films under your belt. That's got to be I don't know, it's got to be hard to do to continue to remember specific moments, especially lines, especially when people improvise so much. So you can't really
and
so
you don't
I
ever
totally
watch
get
it
that.
I mean, I don't mean to not watch it. I don't know why. Like, there's nothing that draws me to it. The only movie I will watch, there's two movies that kind of I will be drawn to watch.
Mhm.
I will watch Walk Hard if it's on.
Love that movie.
Yeah.
That one
Love Dewey
makes me
Cox.
laugh, and Jake
Dewey
Gadsden's
Cox.
direction and John C. Reilly's performance are just
Unreal.
crazy. And I will watch a movie I was a producer on, Step Brothers.
Oh,
Of course.
dude.
No matter where they are, I will watch it till the end. I find like that one helped people survive the COVID era. I had so many people mention how many times they watched Step Brothers.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, Adam McKay and Will Ferrell's masterwork. But people really watch that movie a lot.
Walk Hard is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
of all
Dewey
time.
Cox is unreal.
Dewey Cox. To this day, if like I don't smoke a lot of weed. I usually only smoke to go to sleep. But if I ever have weed in my possession, maybe a vape, maybe even a gummy, and somebody asks for one, I always go, "You don't want no part of this shit." You don't want no part of this.
That must be almost verbatim from a movie like Great Balls of Fire. Or,
possibly.
the Buddy Holly story. Because that definitely came from another movie where someone was on drugs and they said, you don't want
no part of this shit.
I've totally forgotten where we took that from. But it's called marijuana. There's no downside.
No, I don't want a hangover.
I don't want to get addicted. Well, I don't want to get addicted. It's not habit forming.
It's not going to make me want to have sex, is it?
It makes sex even better.
Gosh, man. Well, dude, you are an idol to all of us who perform. You are one of the nicest people I've ever met. Every time I see you, you're so kind and you're so gracious. And the fact that you're doing this show, doing this podcast for us, when I tell you I appreciate it, man, you have no idea. Talking to you has been one of the highlights of my career.
Well, you did something great. My daughter, Judd Apatow, who many people know from Euphoria, directed this really cool, demented short film, and you agreed to play a part in it. And last year, at the end of the year, Judd directed a feature film. Because she's an adult now. And more than once, we talked about how kind you were to be in that short film. And how much we appreciate it and how hilarious you were.
Oh, yeah. And Iris is hilarious. I did Unstable with her.
That's right.
She is great. So great.
Iris is really funny. She's
it runs in the family, man. Too. Kyle, any last words?
No, just thank you so much, dude. A lot of the films and especially just the dialogue and comedy, like very inspirational. And I think, some of the things that Lamorne and I are writing, we take a lot of inspiration from them. So thank you for making those movies.
I appreciate it. And I forgot to mention that book I have that you can pre-order, Comedy Nerd, the money that it raises goes to
the fire victims.
The fire victims.
Yes.
None to me. I regret it. I think I should have taken half.
Some. We could take some.
But it's all, just so you know, it's all.
We love that.
That goes in my pocket, which there's some regrets about.
And that'll be out October 28th.
Yes.
That's when you would receive it.
But you can pre-order now.
Yeah.
You could pre-order it, and you know what? It's fun to buy things months and months in advance, and then it shows up, and it's like this wonderful surprise.
It's a pleasant surprise. That's right. And then the 20th anniversary of 4-Year-Old Virgin, 10th anniversary of Trainwreck, the theatrical re-release, August 22nd through August 28th.
In 4K.
All right. Yes.
Let's
4K
go.
release set for August 19th. That's 5 days after my birthday. If anybody wants to get me that for my birthday, I would greatly appreciate it. Dude, you're a legend. Thank you for being here, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
That was a HeadGum podcast.